Like, what do you mean? Bro, he wants a white ethno-state. Like, he is a Hitlerian-style Nazi. Holy, that is so crazy. How do you even fact check the idea that Trump is going to enact Project 2025? Dude, if you think that that is a false statement from Kamala Harris, you're delusional, okay? The Heritage Foundation runs the motherfucking Republican Party's agenda, okay? That's it. If you do not recognize that, you're a fucking delusional little idiot. Let's watch Stephen Miller. Trump's copium is ridiculous.
Day one.
All these criminal migrants that have been flooded in the country are going to be the first to get thrown out of here. I mean, you've seen...
God, he's so fucking gross. Monstrous piece of shit.
Case after case, these heartbreaking tragedies, those ones are going to get found and deported first. And look at this Venezuelan gang. You have a Venezuelan gang that is taking over entire apartment buildings in Aurora, Colorado, and that's responsible, by the way, for some of the most heinous crimes that have happened all over the United States. The crime rate in Venezuela is down, I believe, a little bit over 60% over the last several years.
Are you trusting the official figures from the Venezuelan dictatorship?
Let's put it this way. If you're a dictator of a poor country with a high crime rate, wouldn't you send your criminals to our open border?
That wasn't my question.
Yeah, that's not the...
Are you trusting the figures?
Bro, he's verbatim saying Nazi shit. Yes, Stephen Miller from Palisades High School of Jewish background is an out and about Nazi. Okay? He has talked about, what was it? Turner Diaries is a big point of reference for his political ideology. He is literally a Jewish Nazi. Okay? Yes. Straight up. He is an out and about white supremacist Nazi piece of shit. He also wrote most of fucking Donald Trump's white nativist immigration policies. No, a Zionist. I mean, he probably, dude, honestly, Stephen Miller might be the one unique, like, anti-Israel Nazi. I don't know what his opinion is on Israel. I think he might hate Jews so much that he, like, hates Israel, low key. Probably not, though. He probably is a fucking Zionist. Let's be real. But, like, he is straight up. I'm not even talking about, like, I'm talking straight up. He is Jewish of background, okay? And he abso-fucking-lutely 100% is a straight up Nazi. No, like an actual Nazi. I'm not using it as a synonym for fascist. I'm saying, dog, he is literally Jewish Nicholas Fuentes, okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you mean? Bro, he wants a white ethno-state. Like, he is a Hitlerian-style Nazi. He was classified as a white nationalist by congressional leaders. The Congressional Hispanic Caucus condemned white nationalist Stephen Miller, calls for immediate removal from role as White House senior advisor. He is straight up a white supremacist. I actually don't know. I wonder if he's also anti-Semitic, because he likes Camp of the Saints, which I believe is definitely anti-Semitic. Like, all of his idols are straight up anti-Semitic. I actually don't know. I don't know if he's like, I don't know if he personally is like, I don't know what extent of how anti-Semitic he is. He is Jewish, yes, I know. He probably is pro-Israel, though. Most people in the administration are, including some of the biggest anti-Semites. Like, I don't know if he's like a Jews-controlled media type anti-Semite, though, regardless of his Jewish heritage, Jewish background. Demonizing a Jewish staffer, Stephen Miller responds to white supremacist accusations. There's a deep vein of anti-Semitism that is running through today's Democratic Party, the White House senior advisor says in response to calls for his removal. Is Fuentes pro-Israel? No, Nicholas Fuentes is not pro-Israel. What the fuck are you guys talking about? No, he's both anti-Semitic and also anti-Israel. You're mistaking him with Richard Spencer. Richard Spencer is anti-Semitic and pro-Israel because he thinks it's an ideal ethno-state. He wants to do Israel, but for white people here in America. Nicholas Fuentes is not pro-Palestine, mind you. He's just anti-Israel. He just hates Jews, man. That's it.
of the dictatorships. Those are Maduro numbers.
I am believing that it is in the interest of a criminal dictator to let his criminals out of their jails and come to our
Do
country.
you have numbers, real numbers, not
I have
dictatorship numbers?
The Venezuelan gangs that have you've seen the CCTV footage. I have a question. Who do you think? Answer me
My
this.
family is from Venezuela. I know very well the situation of Caracas and many other
Right,
cities.
and tell me, who were the people with the high-powered rifles in the hallway of that apartment building? Who were they?
They were gangsters from Venezuela.
Right. No American community.
But I was asking to you about figures, numbers,
What I'm saying
facts.
to you is the facts are the dead bodies. The facts are.
You said that Caracas has a
facts are-
lowest crime
the
rate
facts
than the
are-
USA.
The facts are the mutilated bodies. The facts are the people in the morgues that are dead.
I was asking you about Caracas and the numbers in.
What are you saying, dog? Bro, they remember what they said about COVID, where they were like, everyone's actually dying of other reasons, and then it's being attributed to COVID falsely, which obviously wasn't the case. Now they're doing that fake shit that they launched against COVID when it was real against like Venezuelan migrants. Anytime somebody dies, it's a Venezuelan that killed them, actually. Oh, car crash? Migrant death. Migrant killed him. I mean, they literally did that with the Haitian dude who was a fucking bus driver. They literally did that. It's crazy.
In Caracas, are you trusting the numbers of the dictatorship
I
to
am
state what
trusting
they're
the fact that Kamala Harris is
Why are you
letting
yelling?
illegal immigrants into this country who are raping and murdering children.
I had been very
Do you
respectful.
know-
Why are
do
you yelling?
Do you know who John?
Yeah, I think we know why he's yelling, dog. You got a thick accent. You're a little too dark for his taste. He doesn't like being talked down to by a dude. Okay, I mean, I think he knows why he's yelling. God, he's such a piece of shit.
Jocelyn Ungary is. Do you know who she is?
Do you know how
Tell me
many
who she is.
people
Who
is
she?
experiencing
Who is
violence
she?
in Caracas?
Who is she? Who is Laken Riley?
Why are
Who
you
is
yelling
she?
again?
Because I'm yelling because children are being raped and murdered.
I was just
by
asking for
illegal
figures,
immigrants.
and you have not
Children
replied
are
to me
being
about
raped
those
and
figures.
murdered. Do you know who Kayla
Do
Hamilton
you
is?
trust the numbers of
Do you know
Nicolas
her story?
Maduro? I'm asking
I
again.
trust a Ruth.
If he keeps this going, he's gonna run out of names because there's only 26 names he can point to. Like 26 total. If you ask these guys, Donald Trump very clearly says hundreds of thousands of Americans are being murdered every week by migrants. Okay? Hundreds of thousands. The real number is 24 in this past year. 24. Or 26, sorry.
Ruthless dictator will empty his prisons and send their criminals to our country.
So you trust his numbers?
The most dangerous gang in Venezuela is
You
now
trust
occupying
Nicolas
apartment
Maduro?
buildings. I trust that he does not want his criminals to be.
So you believe in his numbers?
I believe he's sending his criminals to our country.
And do
Do
you
you
think
not-
that the crime rate in
Do you not
Venezuela have
believe- Do you
decreased?
not believe the law enforcement reports of Venezuelan gangs in this country?
I was asking for
Are
the Venezuelan
gangs-
government
are
figures,
Venezuelan
not
gangs
the
in this
figures
country
here.
Or not? Are Venezuelan gangs in this country or not? Yes or no?
What
Yes or
are
no?
the
Yes or
figures
no?
that you
Yes or
say
no?
to say
Yes
that
or no?
in Caracas
Yes or
the
no?
number is
Are
lower than in the
Venezuelan gangs-
USA?
Are Venezuelan gangs in this country or not?
So you don't have numbers.
Are Venezuela? You know who has numbers?
This is sick. I mean, this is awesome. Watching this sweaty, racist, white supremacist loser have a fucking pathetic meltdown. Oh my God. Oh, delicious, dude. This is incredible. He's so close to saying slurs. Yes. Oh my God. I mean, you know, he said it after this interview, after the microphone was, after he moved away from the microphone, he was just saying all the slurs. Okay.
The Department of Homeland Security. You can ask Mayorkas for numbers. You can ask the Director Ray for the numbers.
Sir,
I'm telling you.
you said
you think
that in
Nicolas
Venezuela
Maduro-
the crime rate is lower than the
Because-
USA.
Yes, because the
What are
criminals
your
are
numbers?
here
That's
now.
my question.
Because the criminals are here now.
Those are Maduro's numbers.
I can tell you again that Border Patrol agents are encountering
Do you
thousands
trust
of gang
Maduro
members.
numbers?
I trust the border agents in our country.
But
and
they
I
are
hope
not
that
saying
you
that
have the
Caracas has a
fundamental-
lower crime rate.
Children are dead, and you are wasting my time.
No, I am not
Children
wasting your
are
time.
being raped.
I'm
Do
asking
you
for
have
facts
any
as a
remorse for
journalist.
do you have any remorse for the dead children? Do you care?
I like that he's literally saying like, you're looking real Venezuelan right now. The way that he's making it seem like this guy came to America to rape the children now. You know what I mean? He's literally trying to put the blame on him. I wonder why Stephen Miller, who's refusing to answer a pretty fucking basic question, is now attributing the deaths of children that he's made up in his mind, by the way, okay, to this Hispanic reporter who just keeps asking him the same question over and over again.
They're all about the dead children.
Absolutely.
Then that's what I want to leave you with, is that Donald Trump will
was
come
just
to
asking for
office.
figures.
Here's what's going to happen. Donald Trump is going to be elected president, and the migrant gangs are going to be sent home. Children's lives will be saved. And you know who will benefit the most? Are the working class Hispanic community.
I always bring up the 26 homicide statistics to my right-wing coworker, and he deflects it by saying that the statistics are underreported and don't account for sanctuary cities. How do I respond to him? He's lying. What do you mean it doesn't account for sanctuary cities? Dog, if an undocumented migrant commits a fucking murder, they go to jail, okay? There is no underreporting on murder. There is no secret conspiracy in the law enforcement community to hide the truth about murders. Okay, this is not like a parking ticket. This is a fucking murder. They already lie about the misdemeanor crimes of like theft to begin with. And they say like, oh, it's underreported. And then you look at the actual, like, you actually look at the crime reports in general, specifically because these grocery stores are still going to report that a crime has taken place in an effort to also get money back on their insurance. They have to report it to the fucking police. Okay. That's not how any of this works. There is no underreporting murder. When a person is murdered, cops don't go and look at that and go, let's put this down as a car crash. The sanctuary city shit, first result for 4 reasons why we should worry about crime data from the Marshall Project. The FBI's crime data is still incomplete and politicians are taking advantage of it. 6,097 agencies submitted no 2022 data. This was back in fucking 2023, by the way. As far as FBI crime data goes, there is no, they still have local numbers that they report on, and crime is down on local numbers as well. Overall, the notion that these guys are not reporting murders is ridiculous. And the data that we're pointing to is not even the FBI crime data. The data that we're reporting to is a compilation of local crime rates from local police departments. They release their numbers regardless. The number that we're getting in terms of the criminal non-citizen statistics is from actions that undocumented migrants have engaged in across the board. Okay? Sanctuary city simply means if you're an undocumented migrant talking to a police officer because a crime took place in your neighborhood, you are not going to immediately be called, like the ICE is not going to immediately be called on you. That's it. Ironically enough, for those of you who don't know this, Sanctuary Cities actually was a police initiative. It was an initiative backed by the police. Do you want to know why it was an initiative backed by law enforcement? Because originally law enforcement was like, we have to instill trust in these communities because these people live here, okay? And they don't want to talk to cops, so we can't solve certain crimes when they happen in these marginalized communities because they think if we talk to them that we are automatically going to report it to ICE and they're going to get deported, okay? Where's your source? Dog, you are looking at the source. How can you, do you have no critical thinking skills? Like, what the fuck's going on? Where is your source? It's on the screen, man. It's taking up a larger percentage of the screen than my body. Okay? It's taking up a larger percentage of the screen than the chat. It is perhaps the largest thing you can see on screen. It is Customs and Border Patrol. This guy's like, there's dudes in the chat that'll be like, nah, dog, you don't understand. It's just like, show me the numbers. And by that, they mean, show me the numbers that make my argument better. Okay? And unfortunately for you, there are no fucking numbers that make your argument look better. All you need to do is subscribe. So the number you should be worried about is the dollar value of subscribing to the HasanAbi broadcast. If you are lucky. Hard for me to wrap my head around people being gullible enough to vote for Harris. Solo queue games. This has nothing to do with Kamala Harris. If anything, Kamala Harris is literally stupid for not fucking saying these things that I'm saying. Special Order 40 is a police mandate implemented in 1979 by the LAPD, its police chief Daryl Gates, and Los Angeles City Council, preventing LAPD officers from questioning people for the sole purpose of determining their immigration status. The mandate was passed in an effort to encourage undocumented aliens to report crimes without intimidation. This is literally the underlying basis of sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities is a concept that police chiefs have historically supported. Here it is. Police chiefs support sanctuary cities nationwide. A complicated legal battle is about to take place between the Trump administration and the nation's sanctuary cities. Why do police chiefs support sanctuary cities? In Tucson recently, an undocumented immigrant stopped and struggled with a man who was trying to steal a car that had children inside. The immigrant held the suspect until police could arrive, and the suspect was charged with auto theft, burglary, and kidnapping. In cities across the U.S., those who are undocumented frequently help police officers with reports, descriptions, and other important information police need, because in sanctuary cities, those immigrants feel secure. Why did the numbers explode at the beginning of Biden's presidency? Sorry if you answered that, just started listening. The numbers exploded. What do you think was going on before? Exploded to what, 60? Do you know how many homicides and manslaughter happens in the United States of America every year? Part of the reason why was because COVID ended, or at least the lockdowns ended. COVID didn't end, but the lockdowns ended. But do you understand like what percentage undocumented citizens account for? Like what the percentage of homicides and manslaughter undocumented migrants account for in the overall United States homicide numbers? It's not even 1%, you fucking idiot. It's 0.01%. You are talking about a movement of 0.011% to 0.012%. What a ridiculous fucking assessment, dude. Wow, the crime rate for homicide and manslaughter exploded from 3 to 60 and went back down to 25. Your math makes no sense. He had a good point. What is going on right now? There are more than 11,000 homicides and manslaughter cases in the United States of America every fucking year. Okay. I think it's even larger than that. I think it's literally around like 20,000. Okay. If you're looking at it, in 2022, there was 21,156 murders. 62 out of the 21,162 murders was undocumented migrants. What are you talking about? The numbers for each category markedly increased after 2020. Just wondering why they've increased. Like why it went from, in 2019, 16,000 to 22,000 in 2020. Again, COVID. There is a COVID spike in homicides and homicide only. Okay? That's it. When the lockdowns ended, when the lockdowns were reduced, the number of homicides went up. And for the record, they are down. Okay? They are down now. I think your numbers are wrong. You might need to add another zero in there. 0.003%. I can't believe that we're still having this ridiculous conversation. Actually ridiculous conversation.
Communities that are besieged by gang violence.
So you don't have figures.
Public schools that are being overtaken by migrant gangs. You have MS-13.
I'm curious, do 20 homicides include only against U.S. citizens or both against undocumented and U.S. citizens? I'm willing to bet the overwhelming majority of those crimes are against undocumented citizens too. Not that it fucking matters, but that's just how statistics work. The likelihood that if you're an undocumented migrant that you're going to kill another undocumented migrant is incredibly high. If you're black, the likelihood that you're going to kill another black person instead of a white person is incredibly high. Just like if you're white, the likelihood that you're going to kill another white person is incredibly high. That's just what it is, which is why black on black crime is actually a notoriously racist dog whistle, because the percentage of crime that black people commit against other black people is around 90%. But nobody ever talks about white on white crime, which is also around 90%. Turns out people do crimes to the people that are in their immediate vicinity. It's actually that simple. But in an otherwise white supremacist nation, people just say black on black crime and leave it at that. And then people plug that hole with their fucking idiotic racist narratives. God damn, dude. Holy shit.